Okay, so welcome to the part number 5 of the series, and on this one we need to talk about the sequencer and the arpeggiator. So first we're gonna go with the sequencer. I gotta be honest, this is not my favorite part of the synth, and of course I'm gonna start with a fresh template as always. And remember, this is again the part number 5, so we already talked about pretty much the whole synth. So if you're just a little bit lost, go to the other sections, or maybe the other videos on the series. Or maybe if you already know all of this and you want to know how this works, so you're in the right place. So the sequencer is a very simple sequencer. And I just wish we had some, that kind of sequencer where we can go and choose tones, right? Like notes or something like that. Just a standard sequencer. But this is not what it is. So this is a little bit weird. So I'm going to go right here. Going to double click on this one so we can get rid of any other modulation. And the way that this works is that it works along with the modulation matrix. We need to go right here and select, the sequencer in this case. I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go there at the top, and I'm going to say that I want to do the pitch because it's going to be just obvious, right? So we are just using the oscillator number 1, the operator number 1. So that's it. I'm going to go press something, right? We just get pretty much nothing, which is okay. Okay, so then I'm gonna go. Let me just check the volumes. No, that's fine. I guess it's fine. So, okay. So the way that this works, notice that you get pretty much 3 modes, and right now we are in sync mode. So it means that every time we press a key, it will just restart the sequence, which is okay. So what you can do, you can draw just like this. And notice that right now we are just messing with the pitch. So if I play something, nothing happens. I'm gonna go and do 1. And this is the way it works. So it's just following a sequence, whatever sequence we draw right here. The thing is that you get 1 and -1 values. You don't get to, to select kind of a, let's say chords or I mean notes, for example. You cannot go by semitones, which is maybe something that you wish on a sequencer. And I just wish they give us the option to change between ranges and notes, because if I wanted to do something with notes, I cannot do it. I need to go by ear if I'm, doing this with the sequencer. So again, the way they thought this is that this sequencer will work like an envelope, right? Where we can go and draw something and then it goes down at one point, right? So you're just pretty much creating an envelope with steps. That's all. And in my opinion, why, using this when we already have envelopes? So yeah, it's just like an additional envelope. Now, of course, you can go and maybe say that you want to draw a line and you're going to get the much more, controlled step. Or you can go and erase everything just like, you're doing right here. So, okay. So it's, again, that's simple. But, I wouldn't say it's just the most useful thing. So of course, every time we press a key, it will restart the sequence, but maybe you don't want that. So you want to do a free run, which means it doesn't matter if we play a key. It's just gonna go and go and go without restarting the sequence. Another thing you can do, you can change the step to, 16, or you can go over, to 20 to 32. But maybe I'm gonna do 16 now, right? And you can go and do random, and this one will create a crazy random. Right, of course you can delete everything that you get, or go back and just get a different random every time that you click a button, which is, nice. Of course, on this one you can go and select the speed. You can go faster or slower. Pretty simple stuff. Then, of course, right now the mode is going forward, but you can go backwards or back and forward, or, just random, which is going to be crazy. So, again, I know it's a little bit crazy. It could be useful maybe if we do something else, like we draw something else, maybe the frequency, the cutoff frequency instead of the pitch. But still, you're doing an envelope. You're just drawing an envelope, which is fine. Okay, that's what it is. That's what you get. So another thing you get right here is the ramp, and on this one I'm gonna go and just clear everything that we have right here. Just gonna, delete everything, and just gonna go maybe here, and then let me just do it 8 steps. There I go, and I'm gonna go just do something on this one, and then I'm gonna go and do something on this one. Okay, so if I press something, we get something like that. Maybe I'm gonna go a little bit slower. So what you get, of course, is whenever we're in 0 and then we go to this one, if this one is too high, you know, the change is so abrupt that maybe sometimes it's just gonna be not what you want. So that's why you get the ramp, and this is like a glide. It will just, you know, slide to whatever value you have right here. Again, it's just a way of smoothing the transition. And then what you get is a gate. I'm gonna go and say gate. And this doesn't work the way you kind of assume it would work with a normal step sequencer. If I put gate, notice nothing happens. So what this will do, it will restart the envelope. So right here, we are using just this envelope, and we know that it will restart on this and here. So it will restart twice. I'm gonna press it, it restarts, then restarts, and I'm gonna go slower so we can really see the transition. All right, maybe there. So I'm gonna press, and notice it's restarting every time we hear the sweep. So that's what it does. That's what the gate will do. It will restart the envelope. So yeah, that's it. That's what you get. And again, in my opinion, this is my least favorite part of the whole synth. Everything else is just magnific, right? It's just great, but maybe not the sequencer. Okay. Again, it's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. Then you get the arpeggiator, and this one is cool. And it works just a very simple arpeggiator, and it works just like, you know, it works with, you know, any of the plugins you get with Arturia. So I'm gonna go, right now we have nothing, and I'm gonna get rid of that one. And I'm gonna go to the arpeggiator. As soon as I turn it on, you're gonna hear that effect. Now, of course, when you do arpeggios, you're not just gonna press a single key. So this one works better with chords. So if I do a chord, it will go recognize the chords that you're playing. I'm playing an F. And it's going to go and cycle through the different notes. Pretty simple. Now then, of course, what you can do, you can sync with the tempo and go by hertz, which is going to be really fast, or unsync in this case. Or you can go and sync it to the DAW speed. Again, just standard controls are here. Okay, so then you get the patterns, and this one, of course, is where you're going to be selecting the type of patterns. You don't get a lot, but you get the as played, which is, of course, very useful. The as played, it means that if I play a key right here, and then I go and I press a second key, and then a third key, and then a fourth and a fifth, notice I'm playing all the keys on a different order. So the synth will remember that order and play that arpeggio. And this is, again, very useful because you can just go make a chord and then record whatever you want because it remembers the order. Right, so pretty simple. So then you get the next one, which is going to be the up. And this one is pretty much self-explanatory. It's going to go up. Right. So then you get the other one. It's going to be the down, which is the opposite of up. It's going to go down. Right, pretty simple. Then what you get the other one, the up and down is just pretty much like, you know, going back and forward. But notice it will always kind of play the first and the last note twice before, you know, going back and forward. Right. So then you get the other one, which is going to be up and down, which is the same as up and down in, but will not just kind of play the first and the last one twice. You're just gonna go back and forward. That's it. So pretty simple, just a pretty simple arpeggiator, but it works, right? And then you get random, which is just random, right? Just random. And again, it's just pretty simple, but it just works for most of scenarios when you want to just create an arpeggio. You just go, press the keys that you want, and it will go and do that arpeggio, which is nice. And then you get the octave control. And again, this is something very standard. You're going to go to the up one. And whatever you get right now is just get 1, but you can go up to 5. And this is what it means. And again, this is very standard to all the Arturia synthesizers at this point. Whenever you make a chord, you press some keys, you're going to do it at, any given, a certain octave. So if you're going on 1, remember that the arpeggiator, what it will do, it will loop whatever you're pressing over and over again. So if I do make a chord, it's just looping that chord. That's what it does, right? We know that. Now, if we go to octave, it means that the first loop is going to be on the whatever octave you're playing, but the second loop, the next one, is going to be played an octave higher. And then it will go and start from the beginning. So we can see it on the keyboard. Sometimes we don't see it on the keyboard right there at the bottom with Arturia plugins and an arpeggiator. Sometimes you don't see it; it's just happening behind the scenes. On this one, you can see what's going on, and I like this. I don't know why they removed it from the newer ones. So then you get, of course, 3, 4, or you can go 5 octaves, which is going to be super high. Not even cats can hear that. All right, so that's what it does. That's the octave control. And I told you, this was going to be very easy. The sequencer is just super easy, not usable because we already have envelopes and we can do whatever we want. Again, my opinion. And then you get the arpeggiator, which is something nice, something which just, it works. Okay, so that's it. It was a very short video. On the next one, we're going to talk about the global, and I wanted to record everything on the same video on this one. But the problem is that on this one, we need to talk about the portamento modes and unison. Maybe you don't know what unison is, so I'm going to need to do a little bit of explaining. So I don't want to make this video a 30 minutes video. So I'm going to be uploading this one tomorrow for sure. So I'm going to go to the next video and talk about all the options you get right here. And some of the options you get right here at the top as well.